What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
All right, so it's a very special Monday Inauguration Day stream. So I didn't announce this to anybody beforehand, just 10 minutes before the stream. Maybe I should have mentioned it earlier. I don't know. But here we are, and there's a lot to talk about. It's a momentous day, obviously. I mean, it seemed, even though, on this channel, we knew that looking at the reliable polls from the last two election cycles, that he had a very good chance. Trump had a very good chance to win the election. But when it actually happened, when he actually took Pennsylvania, and we knew that was going to be it. I mean, when this happened, even still, it was hard to believe, just because they'd thrown so much against the man. And I mean, it seemed, somewhat doubtful whether or not he'd even make it to the election, right? Never mind actually getting inaugurated, actually becoming the president. He's the president now. He's no longer the president-elect. He's no longer a candidate. He's the president now. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's really incredible. And I think it's going to be a very good thing for the world. Not everybody. I'm not going to agree with everything Trump does. Nobody is. You guys aren't going to either, because you're not crazy. You're not just robots, right? But it's going to be, I think, when you take it all in its totality, it's going to be much better than managed decline. It's going to be much better than, Western civilization's terrible, everybody's racist, everything's a genocide state. It's going to be much better than that. It's better when you've got somebody that likes you, that likes your culture, that likes Western civilization, right? That doesn't want you to fail, that doesn't want managed decline. That's going to be better. That's way better than everything you've ever done. Every breath you take is a new genocide, which appears to be the take from the modern left these days. I don't like them, frankly. So I think this is absolutely going to be a good thing for the world. I think it's going to put out fires around the world. I think peace. I think prosperity. I know that we've got the troubles. Canada has the troubles with Trump right now, with the threats of the tariffs, I think it's still going to, I think a wealthy, a prosperous United States is going to be good for Canada. It's going to be good for Mexico. It's just a matter of getting past what Trump always does. It's the big ask. He always comes out with, fire and brimstone and fire and thunder, thunder and lightning. And then he negotiates something totally reasonable, right? I think this is going to be a very good thing for the Western world, for the world in general. Because the last 4 years have not been so good for the world, I've noticed. A lot of problems. All right, Jesse, how you doing? Good to see ya. Jesse got the first like. That means Jesse gets double good karma. The next person who likes will get good karma too, just not double good karma. It's still good, though. I mean, it's still absolutely worth getting it. In these troubled times, you're going to need that good karma. All right. So, yeah, an incredible day today. I mean, still, it's hard to believe. Even though you know it's really happening, you just think they're going to do something. They're going to do something. They've done so much already. They've thrown so much at this man already. Here he is. And it's not like now he's safe, right? No, he needs serious, like private security, as much security as possible, food tasters, everything. But he's in. He's in. And right away, pardons approximately 1,500 January 6ers. There was about 1,600 that were charged. That's a good start. We're going to go through his executive orders. We're going to go through Biden's pardons as well, because Biden is just, I don't know, he acts exactly like the leader of some sort of crime family or something. It's pretty amazing. But we're going to go through the inauguration. I mean, here's something. This was the night before, which is just funny. It's so Trumpian, right? It's something that's just so confusing for the left. From Andy No, we were told by LGBTQ plus activists and leftists that there would be gay concentration camps under Donald Trump. Instead, we got this. What is it? Come on, The Village People. That was from last night. The Village People, iconic gay culture band. Well, they're not in a concentration camp. Did they rush them all out to the concentration camp after the performance? Anyway, let's see. So let's get to some of the, because I'm sure everybody watched at least the actual swearing in. So I don't think we need to show that. But let's take a look at some clips here. From Vesper, I hope Pierre Poilievre and the CPC, Conservative Party of Canada, that you're really taking notes. You are hearing the will of not just Americans, but Canadians echoed here. I think sane people everywhere in the world.
This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. This week, I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay. This week,
Well, of course, Democrats aren't going to like any of that, right? Any of this. I mean, it is stunning to me how quickly it went from, obviously you judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin, not by identity. It's still stunning to me how quickly we went from that to, oh no, identity's everything. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you're racist because of the way you look. It's stunning to me how quickly that happened. It shows you how many people, ideology, politics, they just wear it like a fashion, right? And they'll just go where the fashion goes. It's stunning. But this is a step in the right direction. Two genders? You mean biology? You mean we believe in biology again? You mean we're not taking seriously this redefinition, this insane, trivial redefinition of the word gender into an infinite series of abstractions? You mean we're just dealing with reality again? Do you mean reality is exerting itself? Reality is asserting itself? Do you mean accurate descriptions of reality are back in vogue? Okay, that's good. That's good. I'll take that. Reinstating any service member unjustly expelled from the military for objecting to the mandate with full back pay. That seems like justice. I mean, they were the people least likely to need it in the first place. We're getting off to a good start here, I think. Let's see. Well, we'll get to that. Let's hear a bit more Trump here. Right, what do we got here? It says here from the Post Millennial, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris refused to stand or applaud during Trump's inauguration speech. Well, the thing is, Trump went hard, and he did not spare their feelings. He went hard, and you can't blame him. Obviously, I mean, they tried to destroy him. I mean, Joe Biden sicked the DOJ on him. He was meeting with like the DA from New York for these insane political persecutions, these politically motivated legal persecutions. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows the fix was in. Everybody knows it was Banana Republic stuff. They tried to destroy him. And who really was behind that kid from Butler, Pennsylvania? It was just him by himself. Have they gone into his phone yet, by the way? How come he disappeared so quickly? That was all very, very weird. Hey, Rosie, how you doing? Good to see you. He says, good evening, all. Liberation Day for the USA. I think you've earned this. I'm hoping it's a beginning of liberation for Western civilization. This is the start where sanity can reassert itself, where reality can reassert itself, where we don't have to, everywhere in the Western world sit and go, oh, geez, I guess we're all bad and our culture's terrible and our history's awful. We're just uniquely awful in history. Yeah, I'm kind of ready to get past that because it's ridiculous and it's a totally ahistorical view of history. It's a totally ahistorical view. It's historically totally illiterate. So we need to get past that. So yeah, maybe a start for liberation for all of Western civilization because we need it. I can tell you we need it in Canada badly. All right.
I've heard your voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor, but in his honor, we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true. Thank you. Thank you. National unity is now returning to America. I've heard your voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor, but in his honor, we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true. Thank you.
Thing is, you can't have unity in a country where everybody's intentionally separated into faceless identity blobs, all with competing interests, right? Each one assigned their own ideology competing with another one. You can't have unity. That's intentionally divisive, right? That's intended to actually wreck your civilization. Obviously, how could it be good? It can't possibly be good. There's no way that it can be good. Let's see. We got Jesse in the chat. Good to see ya. All right. Rosie says, liberation for the world, especially Canada. Amen. Yes. Yes. Jesse says, how perfect MLK is so proud right now. Yeah, it really is just shocking how quickly it flipped from content of character is what matters, not identity, to no, identity is the only thing that matters. And by the way, here are your ideological beliefs that you must have because of your identity. It's just the road to madness, the road to division, and the road to suffering. Got to get past it. And this is a step in the right direction. Let's see some more from Trump. Trump addresses the people of North Carolina and Los Angeles.
Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly. And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. Or more recently, Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn from weeks ago without even a token of defense. They're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is unable to do anything about it. That's going to change. We have a public health system that does not deliver. Our country can no longer deliver.
Trump went hard. He went hard. He wasn't playing nice. You know, he's like, fuck these guys. Fuck these people sitting behind me. They tried to destroy me. I took a bullet. I almost died. I was surprised how hard he went. And I think it was good. I think it was appropriate. Russell Brand posted this clip, and I'm sure we've all seen the whole speech, so we'll just do the clips here. The highlights. We will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars. I think this made Elon Musk extremely happy.
Above all, my message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate our nation, we will lead it to new heights of victory and success. We will not be deterred. Together, we will end the chronic disease epidemic and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free. The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory, builds our cities, raises our expectations, and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
Now, I think we're a long way away from, cities on Mars, but it's aspirational. It's good. This is good. It's so much bigger than your pronouns, right? Or just, one of the infinite, genders that you picked out of the air or you saw on TikTok. It's so much bigger than your identity or your petty grievances. I mean, it's aspirational. Humanity needs that. Humanity needs the Elon Musks, right? To promise something better, something amazing in the future, right? That's one of the reasons why the left hates him so much. They don't want that. Everything has to be terrible. So everything can be torn down, burnt to the ground, and then the, communist dystopia will actually be a dystopia, not a utopia, the dystopia. We know this from history, by the way. You just got to read a couple of books. But then they can build the horrible nightmare world on top of something that was really great. So, that kind of aspirational talk, these kinds of aspirational ideas are actually an antidote to things like the woke mind virus, to radical leftism, because it's hopeful. It offers you something. It offers you something good. It's not just everything is everybody else's fault all of the
Above
time.
all, my message to America.
All right. Let's see. We got Nevada in the chat. Good to see ya. Let's see. Let's take a little quick look at the chat here. See what you guys are saying. Rosie says, mean tweets are back and all in the vein of peace and unity. The mean tweets weren't so bad, it turns out. Let's see. After people got a taste of not having the mean tweets. Rosie says, North Carolina's solution has exposed so much corruption. Now California exposes incompetence. Yeah. Nevada says, woohoo, I think you guys have earned this. It's Inauguration Day. And maybe one of these two, actually. Hold on. This is appropriate.
What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Yes. To video of the village people. I love it. Let's see. Nevada says, Daddy's back in the White House. Let's see what else we got here. I'll do a couple more quick. Skip to the end. Nevada says, glad you came on, Richie. Well, I wasn't thinking I was going to. Then I was just like, there's actually a lot happening. And I did say last night, if there was a lot going on, I would do a live stream. So, and I woke up super early today as well. So I did actually watch the inauguration. I watched the speech and everything. I didn't catch the after thing. But we've got clips of that, some good clips of that. Turtles, how you doing, Turtles? It says, America with the stroke of a pen, 1,500 J6ers coming home. Let's see. Rosie's asking, how long are we on for? I have to call a client and can come back. I think we'll probably be on, the full stream will probably be 2.5 hours, maybe 3 if we're really having fun. But I should think at least another 2 hours from now. Let's see. Turtle says we are no longer involved with the World Health Organization. I've seen that. Jesse says the fascist regime is over. Rosie says, yay about J6. All right. See you soon, Rosie. That was from last night. Okay. So how about from the Blaze? Trump, after years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression. So he's passing laws to protect free speech, executive orders immediately. So we'll get into those as well. We're going to go through the executive orders as well. But let's take a look at this first.
News, it will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury, coming from foreign sources. The American dream will soon be back and thriving like never before to restore competence and effectiveness to our federal government. My administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency. After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
So, you know what the bad guys in history never say? That. They never say that. I'm going to protect your right to express yourself. I'm going to protect your right to describe the world accurately as you see it. The bad guys in history never say that. They never say what Trump just said. The fascists don't say that. They're against that. The authoritarians, the dictators, they never say that. It's kind of how you know who the good guys and the bad guys are, right? The bad guys are the ones who try and silence you, who try and prevent you from saying things they don't like, things that are politically incorrect. That's how you know the good guys and the bad guys, right? Good guy, I say, good guy. If this is what he's doing, that makes him a good guy. I mean, what a difference too. I mean, with Biden, they tried to slip in their, Ministry of Truth with the, what was she called? The Mary Poppins of misinformation. Do you remember her? In fact, maybe we'll look her up quickly. We'll just take a second. We're not in a hurry, are we? Hold on.
Fact check.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find her. Give me 1 second, you guys. Oh, I've got one of my videos here. Let's see. Here we go. Czar for the Biden administration before it became too obviously ridiculous and they just got rid of it. But this is the person they chose. Let's see. And it turns out she's actually quite biased politically, if you can believe that.
Laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared that intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain, they're laundering disinfo when we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice, or vote. Oh, information laundering is really quite.
Yeah. So what a difference from crazy censorship witch to to this.
Years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression. I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
So no Ministry of Truth. So it's that. And then this was an option.
Sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream.
Fascist censorship witch. I don't know. I like this better. I mean, they weren't actually able to, ensconce her as the censorship czar, but they wanted to. And again, that's how you know they're the bad guys. Aside from, obviously all the stuff with the social media that they did. I mean, they were working hard. But anyway, let's continue. Chat quickly. Let's just get to the chat quickly here. What are you guys saying? Well, I've got you here. Might as well see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Oh, Jesse's got a 12-pack. I'm guessing there's going to be some poor grammar in the chat tonight. Let's see. Turtle says, hello all. I cried so many times today. Bye, commies. Bye, commies. Bye, commies. Rada says, I'm so glad he's back. Jesse says, eliminate the IRS so I don't have to pay them what I tracked up during Brandon's fascist reign. Racked up. That's it. First Amendment. Yep. Freedom of speech. Let's see. Not the thought police, Jesse says. Yeah, she is the thought police. That she was intended as the thought police. Jesse says, thanks, Richie. I thought I'd never have to hear that song again. And now this. I'll be back. Have to put bleach in my ears. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you do need to put bleach in your ears. All right. Trump reaffirms his commitment to declassify documents. Oh, this was from the rally last night. So let's just stick with today. We want nothing less than the complete destruction of the woke mind virus, the rabbit hole says. So let's see what Trump has to say about that. And the woke mind virus has to be going. It has to be pulled out. It has to be pulled out, by the roots. It's got to be, every institution is infested with it at this point. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a long job. It's going to take longer than Trump's term, but it has to be done because it is purely destructive. It is purely suicidal.
I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and foreign policy of.
Yeah, so we watched this one earlier. Merit-based. See, merit, you can just substitute that for success, right? Merit, success. Merit, everything works. Merit, your society functions, right? Things get done. Merit, that's what merit equals. Merit is what Western civilization is built on. That's why the left hates it so much. That's why they're trying so hard to get rid of it. Because they want it. They want things to fall apart. How about this? So here's Trump talking about signing executive orders on the first day.
Take the oath.
Oh, actually, that was from last night too. So we just want to show from today. Let's see the Blaze. So here is Glenn Beck talking about it. Let's take a look at what he has to say.
Well, there you have it. Donald J. Trump and his inauguration and his inaugural speech. A good, focused speech for this president. He really stayed on target. I'm going to go through some of the things that he talked about here in just a minute. There was one thing that he said that really gravely disturbed me. I've never heard a president ever utter these words before. We'll get into that in just a minute. But I wanted to ask Allie Beth, what did you think of the speech?
I was a little surprised that right out the gate, as soon as he started the speech, he started indicting and eviscerating everyone in that room.
So
how corrupt and incompetent they were. I loved it. I thought it was a great start of the speech, actually.
I will tell you that it crossed my mind what courage it takes to. He didn't say it to eviscerate. He didn't say it directed at any one person. He eviscerated the policies, and the courage to say that with those eyes right behind you,
yep.
I thought was remarkable.
Me too. And I think everyone appreciated that boldness and that bravery right out of the gate. I did.
I expected that more tonight, though.
Yeah.
The next, he's going.
He did go hard. And I think maybe, almost being assassinated. I mean, coming so close to being assassinated while you're being politically persecuted by your political rival might have that effect on somebody. Might have that effect on you. All right. Let the mass deportations begin, says Libs of TikTok. The amazing thing about it is they let in so many. Clearly, the Biden administration didn't fail at the border, not in their plan. Like in terms of their own goals, they succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. I'm sure they couldn't have imagined they would manage to get so many people across the border, so many people into the country illegally, right? So in their own minds, I'm sure it was very successful, but from the perspective of like national security or just sanity, massive failure. But again, they were clearly trying to do that, facilitating it, blocking Texas from putting up border barriers. Clearly, that was their intent, right? But they caused this problem, and then it's like, oh, you can't deport so many people. That's inhumane. It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have intentionally let them in the first place. Now we have to deal with it. They cause the problem, and then they complain about it, about any reasonable, rational solution to it.
First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. First, I will declare a
Has to be done. Has to be done. Otherwise, you just don't have a country. Let's see. Oh, so here he's talking about, I mean, he has, if he wasn't religious before, it seems like almost dying might have changed that. Let's take a look.
Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
I think it's understandable to feel like that after everything the man's been through. I think that's pretty, yeah, Turtle says, love that chart. I think it's kind of understandable to feel that way. Wouldn't you say? Here we go. So, okay, let's get to the chat again quickly first. And then this is an example of where he went hard. This was the night before again. Okay, hold on. But all right, hold on. I'm sure I've got a clip of him going really hard on the people in the room. All right, hold on. Let's check this one out. First, we get to the chat. Yeah, Turtle says Melania wore an amazing outfit. She looked incredibly elegant. I mean, just she looked stunning today. Stunning. And you could see in her face how much she was enjoying it. Like, yeah, you fuckers. I'm back. Jesse says, my grammar is bad even when I'm sober, Richie. I know. Let's see. MHJ says, also hit like. Yeah, so you got to hit like on the stream, everybody. Don't forget to do that. What a day for USA. Thank you, Richie, for understanding Trumpers. Well, Trump has been an inspirational figure for, I think, sane people who don't hate themselves all over the world, particularly in Western countries where we've had these governments. You know, in Canada, it's better part of a year. We've had this government that has defined Canada as a genocide state, as a white supremacist state. Just lied, promoted hoaxes, total, ahistorical nonsense. And Trump has provided, hope that we can get our own countries back. He really is a major figure in world history. Let's see. Let's see. Other than them, good to see you over on YouTube. Yeah, no, there's always so many more people on Rumble. You should really join us over here. I mean, you see the chat on the screen, on the stream screen. It's 99% Rumble every time. Let's see. Nevada says she was all smiles when the Bidens were leaving. That's Melania. I mean, she looked stunning today. I mean, that's a first lady right there. That's a first lady. All right, let's take a look at this one.
Ambition is the lifeblood of a great nation. And right now, our nation is more ambitious than any other. There's no nation like our nation. Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts. The call of the next great adventure resounds from within our souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens on earth. No one comes close. Americans pushed thousands of miles through a rugged land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold dangers, won the Wild West, ended slavery, rescued millions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm of the human hand. If we work together, there is nothing we cannot do and no dream we cannot achieve. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken.
See, no, it's all aspirational. It's all positive. It's no, well, we're deeply flawed still, and no insinuations or outright statements that, half the country is deeply flawed anyway. Aspirational stuff. This is positive. I think the Western world is ready for that sort of thing, for this sort of thing. Look at Fetterman. I mean, it's one day. One day you couldn't put on a suit. That's just embarrassing. He's wearing shorts and a Carhartt hoodie at the inauguration. I mean, come on. I know you like to dress like a slob. One day, like, how are you not embarrassed? I mean, does he just wear the same shorts and hoodie every single day? Is he incapable of taking it off? I mean, one day. Come on. All right. Oh, what's this here? I think that's the clip we just watched. All right. Hold on. How about this? So, national emergency at the southern border. Let's take a look.
We will not forget our Constitution, and we will not forget our God. Can't do that. Today, I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. It's all about common sense. First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release. And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country. Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Biden's just sitting there taking it. Everything he's talking about there is Biden's fault, right? He's saying, I'm undoing everything you did. Everything. What is Biden thinking at that moment? Is he thinking anything? I honestly, Biden was obviously just signing. I put out a video earlier today where Biden, where Mike Johnson is talking about meeting Biden in the White House and just realizing he has absolutely no idea what he's signing, Biden. But Biden did get out for speeches. He got in front of cameras and said horrible things about Americans. Horrible things about American culture. You know, he was aware of what was going on. Obviously, it was with the DOJ, it was on his orders. He was meeting with like the DA in New York. Clearly, he's not a good man. He's not a decent man. You know, he's a man that will accuse his political enemy of doing exactly what he's doing. And really, what Biden did was unprecedented. And I mean, it was a total breakdown of law, of justice. So apparently nothing really popped off. It seems like the Democrats have put their paramilitary back in their pocket again. Maybe they just figured it just won't look good. You know, they've got these people out, but normally they would have, 2020, you'd have all the, you'd have the BLM and you'd have like the Antifa and then just tons of, maybe mostly just opportunists mingling in, and they would take over. I mean, maybe something will happen tonight, but it seems like, on election night, they put a stop to it right away in blue cities and like Seattle. Antifa was out and the cops came out and they put a stop to it right away. They put the boot right down immediately. They said, no, not this time. Antifa must have been very confused by it. So you've got these people. I mean, that's not a small crowd. No, it's not a small crowd, but it just seems really low energy, doesn't it? It just seems that's not the same energy. I mean, they know they're supposed to be against Orange Man, but, it doesn't seem like their hearts are really that into it. It's just like, well, we're supposed to do this, so I guess we'll do it. And then we'll go for like a Manhattan afterwards or something, I guess. Let's see. Let's take a look at this one for a second. So this was a trans person spoke at the People's March in D.C. to oppose the inauguration of Trump. Oh, we watched this one last night, didn't we? So we don't need to do that one again. Let's see. We looked at that. Not sending their best. I think we saw these people. We did. Is there anything else that we wanted to see? All right. I think there's one more thing in here I want to show you. Hold on. Hold on. How about this? Jake Tapper. So he's very upset about the tech bros at the inauguration. Let's hear what he has to. I mean, I think it's exactly what you would expect from CNN.
Yeah, if I could just, before I throw it to Anderson, just bring back that photograph of the tech bros inside St. John's Church. It's just one other thing I want to show. So we see Mark Zuckerberg on the left there with the curly hair. CEO of Meta. Tim Cook, his face is blocked, but he has the white hair, CEO of Apple. Jeff Bezos on the right there, the bald gentleman looking to his right, CEO of Amazon. The gentleman behind Mark Zuckerberg is Sundar Pichai. He's the CEO of Google. And Anderson, between those four people, plus Elon Musk from Twitter or X, those five people that I just mentioned, the four in the photograph and also Elon Musk, control so much of the information that we receive. So much is in their hands when it comes to.
Where was this when they were censoring conservatives? Oh, you didn't complain about it then because you liked it. Because they were enforcing a narrative that you approved of. I mean, the hypocrisy here, it's so stunning. Just give it up, CNN. It didn't work. It didn't work during the campaign. It's not working now. You just look totally corrupt, is what you look like. Come on. Where was this when they shut down, when it was like three of the guys in this room shut down Parler? Obviously. Just obvious censorship. Let's see. A bit of Trump derangement syndrome here. This is from yesterday. This man says he's protesting because America voted for a modern reincarnation of Hitler. Huh, that's interesting. Reincarnation of Hitler. You know who was Hitler? Hitler. That's why you go back to Hitler. When somebody's bad, you say Hitler. Because it was really actually just Hitler, right? I mean, they never say Mao. They never say Stalin for some reason. They never say Lenin for some reason. They always go back to that one guy. They were all bad. You could just use any of them. Oh, yeah, sorry, but they're not the communists, though, right? He's got the areas with the BLM thing on. He's definitely a communist.
Why are you here today?
I mean, why do you think I'm here?
That's what, man, every man I ask this question to. The women have no problem answering. Why are you here today?
I'm here because I don't want our country to turn into a fascist dictatorship, and we literally elected, the modern day reincarnation of Hitler. And it's because, people are more willing to listen to what.
They're so stupid. Like the modern, reincarnation of Hitler would not promise to preserve and protect your right to express yourself freely. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. It's pretty simple. The good guys protect your right to express yourself. The bad guys don't. The bad guys suppress it. The bad guys will oppress you. Trump's promising to not do that. It's not that difficult. What is wrong with these retards? Let's see. Hold on. So what a difference. So there's Tucker Carlson just walking around D.C. That's how you know something's changed. Would he have been able to do that in 2016, or would he have gotten attacked? Something different's going on. Look at this. MSNBC bombards its viewers with commentary while President Trump is actively speaking. Of course. I guess they just don't know how to do anything else. Just trying to preserve what viewers they still have left.
Lawyers are already rolling up their sleeves because there will be significant legal challenges when he talks about removing birthright citizenship. That's not something that he can just easily do. It's a protection provided by the 14th Amendment. So
MSNBC thinks you'd rather listen to her than Trump in his inauguration speech. Strange. I don't feel like that's a way to win more viewers. How about this? Let's check this one out.
We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first. Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored. The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end. We will be the
Yeah, Biden is sitting right behind him. He's not mincing words. And again, like maybe, almost dying, having, the power of the government unjustly persecute you with show trials. Maybe that'll do something to you. Maybe that'll do something to your attitude. Maybe you don't feel like playing nice when the guy who tried to destroy you is sitting right behind you. How about this?
This week, I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay. And I will.
I mean, it really felt like more of an ideological purge, didn't it? Right? Because if you didn't want to get the jab, you're probably on the wrong side politically. It really was the purpose. I believe the purpose. I believe that the purpose was an ideological purge.
Sign in order to stop our warriors from being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately. Our armed forces will be freed to focus on their sole mission, defeating America's enemies.
There's an Australian commentator who commentates on the Ukraine war, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. But I was watching him the other day, and he was formerly in the Australian military, and he says all of his friends left the military because they said, we're here to be warriors. We're not here to learn about pronouns. Right? It's suicidally stupid to put woke ideology in the military. It's utter and total madness. All right, here we go. He goes hard again.
National success. A tide of change is sweeping the country. Sunlight is pouring over the entire world. And America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly. And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. or more recently, Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn. From weeks ago, without even a token of defense, they're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is unable to do anything about it. That's going to change. We have a public health system that does not deliver in times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of themselves in many cases, to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately to provide to them.
I wonder, Biden's sitting there, if any of it's even registering with him, or if he's just thinking about like ice cream or adrenochrome, or I guess maybe adrenochrome ice cream. Maybe that's what they feed him. I don't know. But he's going hard. He's not mincing words. Let's see. I think we saw that one. Let's see if anything got hidden. Let's see. Okay. I think we're good now. All right. It's a quick one here. Trump on the tariffs, Mexico and Canada. So, well, let's just listen to this.
President,
It's bad precedent, obviously.
where are you thinking on tariffs on Mexico, given these actions you're signing on the border?
Well, we're thinking in terms of 25% on Mexico and Canada because they're allowing vast numbers of people. Canada's a very bad abuser also. Vast numbers of people to come in and fentanyl to come in.
When do you think you would enact those?
I think February 1st.
Are you planning on keeping notes of that?
I think we'll do it February 1st.
25% on both, sir.
On each.
On each.
I think what's going on, at least on the Canada side of this, so Danielle Smith, the Premier of Alberta, the Premier of Alberta, and that's like the main oil province in Canada, went to Mar-a-Lago, talked to him. I've seen rumor that Trump said that he didn't put the tariffs on immediately because of talking to her, that he's got some hope of working with Pierre Poilievre and her. Now he's saying February 1st. I think, again, I don't expect anything to go through on February 1st. I think it's just like, hey, you need to get your house in order, talking to the Trudeau government. Unfortunately, we don't really have a government in Canada right now. You know, Trudeau is just kind of there. He's kind of a lame duck. I don't think he's very interested in solving anything. It seems to have just become now a political issue in Canada, which is incredibly stupid. But we will see. I don't expect anything, at least on the Canada side, to go through February 1st. All that the government needs to do is just show some interest in at least, you know, the slightest bit of interest in starting to solve the problem, which is good for both countries. But in any case, I don't see anything actually happening on February 1st, but we'll just have to see. I mean, you have to understand, the Liberal government in Canada is incredibly stupid, like incredibly harmful and counterproductive. They seem to be incapable of making any reasonable decision on anything. So we will just have to see. All right. So I think that we're going to move on now to a list of the executive orders that Trump has passed. In fact, let's see if we can update it. Can you update the list? All right. So I'm just going to rely on Grok here. All right. So these are the executive orders reportedly signed by Donald Trump already. Revoke nearly 80 Biden-era executive orders. That one has gone through for sure. Regulatory freeze, temporarily freezing new federal regulatory actions. If you want to get the economy going, that's a good place to start. A federal hiring freeze, implementing a freeze on new federal hiring with exemptions for military and immigration enforcement. I know they want to save money there. A lot of like the bureaucracy, a lot of like the public hiring is vote buying. Quite obviously, Trudeau increased it by 40% in Canada. It's vote buying. Return to office for federal workers, mandating that federal workers return to in-person work. Now, I know that Elon said he expects at least 20% will just quit. So there's a big saving right there. Don't forget, Elon's the guy who laid off or fired 80% of staff at Twitter and made it work better. Addressing cost of living, directing agencies to take action to reduce the cost of living for Americans. Withdrawal from Paris Climate Accord, officially withdrawing the U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement. Letter to UN on Paris Agreement withdrawal. Freedom of speech protection in order to restore and protect free speech, preventing government censorship. I don't know exactly what's in that. That's something we'll learn more about as things move forward. But it's what you want to hear, right? Because that's like what the good guys would say. That's like what the good guy would say, right? The bad guy would say, I'm going to start censoring you. Here's all the list of unacceptable things you're not allowed to say for your own safety. That's what the bad guys say. The good guys say they're going to protect your free speech. The bad guys never want to do that for obvious reasons. End government weaponization in order to ensure accountability for what is perceived as the weaponization of government against political foes. Exactly how that shakes out as well, it's all stuff we're going to need to find out. Begin deportation. Well, that's fairly self-explanatory. Initiating or expanding deportation efforts, particularly targeting criminal offenders. No-brainer how anybody could be against it, how those Democrats in the House who voted against it could be against it, how they justify that to their constituencies. I don't know. It's just batshit crazy. That's one of those things like Biden suing Texas to stop them from putting up border barriers. It's one of those things you look at it and you go, am I in an alternate reality? How is this possible? How are we in a place right now where it's possible to do these things publicly, knowing that people are going to find out? And you're a politician? Relying on people voting for you? Weird. National emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border, declaring a national emergency to address border security and immigration. And why didn't Biden do things like this? Because he wanted them to cross. Obviously, he facilitated it. Pardons for January 6 Capitol rioters, pardoning nearly all those charged or convicted for participating in the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. So Trump pardons approximately 1,500 January 6ers, and there was, I think, about 1,600 actually charged. President Donald Trump entered the Oval Office on Monday evening after being sworn in earlier and commenced signing pardons for some 1,500 people who had been prosecuted by, some might say persecuted, by Joe Biden's departing Justice Department. There are an additional 6 commutations that are being considered, Trump said, pending further research. You have to think that 2 of those are Joe Biggs from the Proud Boys and Enrique Tarrio as well. One, I think Joe Biggs got 17 years. Tarrio got 22 years. Seems fairly insane. Seems totally politically motivated. When you think of the things that people don't even see prison time for, and then you've got somebody, who like pushed like a barrier, a guy who texted "don't leave," who wasn't even in the Capitol. I think the people that prosecute this and look for these sort of sentences are psychopaths. I think you have to have no conscience. All right, let's get back to these executive orders. Deep state purge, actions to reduce or restructure federal employment, targeting what Trump terms as the deep state. Well, if you can trim bureaucracies or get rid of entire bureaucracies, obviously that's going to help with that. I mean, these are just people with power working behind the scenes that nobody knows who they are, but they have power. They have power and they have influence. End DEI directives, revoking Biden's diversity, equity, and inclusion policies in federal agencies. No brainer right there. It's going to be, the problem is that you can get rid of the materials, the insane, whiteness pamphlets and all of that nonsense. But the mind virus is still living in the minds of those people, right? You still have these woke zombies that only exist to spread the woke mind virus to more vulnerable minds, right? Not everybody, I think even most people are immune to it. But it actually takes surprisingly few people, surprisingly few ideologues to cause an enormous amount of damage. I mean, it's not like, in the Russian Revolution, like 90% of the population was Bolsheviks. It was actually, a fairly tiny number of people. And that's all it really takes. Extremely psychopathic, manipulative people. People, that might be infected with an idea pathogen, perhaps, right? Roll back offshore drilling limits, removing restrictions on offshore oil and gas drilling. I imagine that's something that's pretty simple to get done. There will be lawsuits. All of this, there will be lawsuits, obviously, right? There will be leftists, there will be communists who will, far left radicals who will want to, or just political opportunists looking to make a name who will challenge all of this. But of the simpler ones, you'd have to think like, well, roll back offshore drilling limits. Renaming geographic features. Orders to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And revert Mount Denali to Mount McKinley. That sounds good to me. End birthright citizenship. This might be a tough one. This is definitely going to be a huge legal challenge. An attempt to end automatic citizenship for children born to undocumented immigrants, though this would face legal challenges. I think you kind of got to go there now. I think the time to now be selective instead of just, and we've learned this in Canada, the time to be selective has come. Targeting cartels as terrorist organizations, designing criminal cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, tariffs on Mexico and Canada, planning to impose tariffs on goods from these countries due to immigration policies, insecure borders. Again, he has now pushed that back for Canada to February 1st. I expect it will be pushed back further. I think this is still just part of negotiation, but Trump is very aware that, Trudeau is not going to be the prime minister for that much longer. I mean, God, let's hope. Let's hope. And there's going to be somebody who really he should be a natural ally with in Pierre Poilievre. And he's already got like a natural ally with Daniel Smith from Alberta, the premier of Alberta. So, I mean, and I believe there's more, but that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot that when it's enacted fully will clearly do an enormous amount. I mean, border security, right? Just national security, energy, economic success, unleashing the economy, getting rid of regulations, unleashing the energy industry, because your economy is energy. Like there's no separating the two. Like there's no energy, there's no economy, and then there's no civilization, right? And nothing works. Your economy is energy. There's no way around that. You can use all the flowery language around green this and green that you want, but cheap, plentiful energy that's readily available is your economy. Without it, you've got nothing. All right. I think we're going to get on to Biden with his pardons next, but I do need to take just a very quick break, just a couple of minutes. I got to get some more rant juice. I'll be right back, you guys. Hold on. Let me put a cooking show on for you. There we go. Actually, you know what? Since it's Inauguration Day, I don't think it'll play long enough. No, we got to do this. Hold on. All right. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Just a reminder, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe right now. It's super important. We do the live stream, Radio Baloney Live, Sunday nights, Tuesday nights, Friday nights, and I publish content pretty much every day. So if you subscribe, you will see something pretty much every day. Usually it's 7 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. You'll find a video from me, but the live streams are Sundays, Tuesdays, Fridays. Subscribe, you get that. Put a like on the stream. That's super important. Let's see how many we have right now. Is it a sufficient number? It is not. So, hey, just go ahead and like the stream right now. Another reminder, we now have merch. So finally, we've got merch on Rumble. There is a merch store connected to my channel, which it just says shop. Right now, there's only one t-shirt design on that. I will be adding more. On YouTube, there is a different merch store because it just works like that. On that one, there's one design, but it's mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, even aprons, a ton of stuff. So you can pretty much find whatever you want. Impress your friends, I say. All right. What are you guys saying in the chat here? Jesse's drinking for Trump. Why not? Nevada says, have a drink for Trump's sake. He's not a drinker, by the way. Let's see. Jesse says she makes other drinks. I've seen them in Nevada. I'm not interested in the other drinks. This one, Fence Girl, Jesse says. Jesse wants Fence Girl. Jesse's drinking, and he wants Fence Girl. I don't have her ready. You're going to have to wait till tomorrow. Yeah, so Sunday, Tuesday, Fridays, but today is Monday, but on, at special occasions, we'll do that. It's Inauguration Day. We had to do a live stream today. We wouldn't normally do Monday. Let's see. Us and them says they're going to push the election to the farthest date away in October. Carney, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if they can do it. They'll probably try. Let's see. Nevada says we should just take all NATO countries since they want our protection and don't pay. Greenland, I think it should be a no-brainer for Greenland, right? They're going to benefit. Apparently, Greenland is a horrible place to live. All right, I guess we lost us and them because he doesn't care about Biden. We're going to get to that in a second because it is interesting and it's historic and something we do have to look at. All right. So, all right, that's the Trump one. So, what did we have here? All right. So Brett Weinstein said about the pardons today, the ones that Biden put out today, and we'll look at the notable ones. He said these pardons are key components of a cover-up. Even if they stand, they must not deter us from uncovering the crime. So here was Biden's statement. Now, I don't believe there's ever been like these preemptive pardons before. Like it's always been somebody has been charged with something, somebody's been convicted with something, right? So these are just they just seem super corrupt. I mean, already with Hunter Biden, right? Going back to 2014. Why 2014? The crimes that he was charged for were years afterwards. Why go back then? Anything to do with Burisma, perhaps? Obviously, that's why. President Biden said, our nation relies on dedicated, selfless public servants every day. They are the lifeblood of our democracy. Yet alarmingly, public servants have been subjected to ongoing threats and intimidation for faithfully discharging their duties. So he's worried that Trump's going to persecute these people unfairly. Unlike him, I want to see something here. Hold on. I had something here. Where is it? God damn it. Did I lose it? What was in here? Hold on. Or is it in here? Okay, yes. All right. So he's worried that Trump would do something that he would never do because he's good and Trump's a threat to democracy. Let's see. So what is this? Here's an expanded list of Trump officials, advisors, and associates. You might call them public servants and associates who faced legal action by the Department of Justice during Joe Biden's presidency. They always accuse you of doing what they do. Always. Peter Navarro, indicted for contempt of Congress for not complying with January 6th committee subpoena. Steve Bannon, Roger Stone, Donald Trump, of course, Mark Meadows, Rudy Giuliani, Jeffrey Clark, John Eastman, Sidney Powell, Kenneth Chesbrough, Jenna Ellis, David Schaefer, Sean Still, Kathy Latham, Scott Hall, Misty Hampton, Robert Cheeley, Trevian Kuti, Stephen Lee. What was Biden saying there? Our nation relies on dedicated, selfless public servants every day. Alarmingly, public servants have been subjected to ongoing threats and intimidation for faithfully discharging their duties. By you! In certain cases, some have even been threatened with criminal prosecutions, including General Mark A. Milley, who clearly colluded with a foreign power, with a foreign adversary. Dr. Anthony S. Fauci. I mean, the thing with Milley is he admitted to it. He admitted that he was going to give a heads up to the Chinese military if Trump did something he didn't agree with. I don't know. Doesn't that sound like kind of treason or something? But all right. Dr. Anthony S. Fauci. We don't even need to get into it. The members and staff of the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol, because maybe they were all lying. These public servants have served our nation with honor and distinction and do not deserve to be the targets of unjustified and politically motivated prosecutions. Politically motivated prosecutions. Well, what about all these people? What about all these Trump officials, associates, public servants? What about them? Did they deserve it? General Milley served our nation for more than 40 years. Yeah, and he's also the white rage guy as well, right? He wanted to find out about white rage. Serving in multiple command and leadership posts and deploying to some of the most dangerous parts of the world to protect and defend democracy, blah, blah, blah. Dr. Fauci. So it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. You just get the sense it's all to protect him. Don't you? You get the sense it's all to protect him. Nobody can turn on him. Nobody can have the screws put to them, right? To try and turn on him. That's what he's worried about. He's worried about Trump doing what he did. It's like a liar always thinks everybody else is lying, right? A cheater always thinks everybody else is cheating. Biden thinks that Trump will do what he does because that's what he does. That's how he thinks. I mean, it's pretty it's pretty bananas. All right. So General Mark Milley, he's just given just a blanket pardon, right? He could have killed somebody and it's fine. He could have murdered like one of his servants or something and it's fine. Anthony Fauci and the members of the January 6th Select Committee. I guess look, that's going to be investigated by the Trump administration, right? That's going to be investigated. Okay. They're all off scot-free if all of this is even legal, if what he's doing is legal, right? But it's going to be investigated if they do get off scot-free, if there are crimes and they get off scot-free, at least people will know. I mean, people will know. They won't be able to hide the crimes, the lies. U.S. Capitol Police and D.C. Metropolitan Police officers, those who testified before the Select Committee investigating the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack. So I guess if they were lying, they're all good. All good now. Boy, it all feels pretty corrupt, doesn't it? It feels like every one of these pardons is really for Joe Biden. That's what it feels like. All right. Let's take a look. That's actually everything we've got. We're an hour and a half in. I thought we'd go a bit longer, but we haven't even shut off the YouTube part of the stream yet. We probably won't, actually. We'll probably just let this one go all the way through. Let's just take a look at, because it's, it's a moving target, the news today. Anything new? Keep X because Trump is taking out the trash. Oh, that's mean. That's mean. You know what? I think that might be AI. By the way, the wheelchair just suddenly starts flying. Yeah, that probably Trump didn't push Biden into a dumpster. It's probably AI. Let's see. Wilder says, congratulations, America. Congratulations, President Donald J. Trump, 47th President of the United States. God bless America. Let's see. We are so back. Let's go. No country for woke men. Good. Cry harder, you crazy lefties. Well, she will, this is a meme that will never die now. She's just become the symbol. She's become the avatar for crazy, hysterical, emotionally unstable lefties who know literally nothing of the world or history. Let's see. You know what? I want to go back here for a second because there was a couple of clips in here that I wanted to show. Let's see. Hold on. I wanted to show Elon here. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. So CNN is suggesting that Elon Musk, it's just unbelievable. CNN suggests Elon Musk made a Nazi salute during Trump's event at Capital One Arena. What are the chances, really, that Elon Musk actually decided to do a Nazi salute? Intentionally did a Nazi salute for millions of people to see. I kind of feel like these people aren't really journalists. They're trying to set narratives. How stupid could you possibly believe? How stupid could you possibly be to actually believe that Elon Musk would go out and give a Nazi salute? I mean, even if you've been spreading the ridiculous propaganda, everybody's Hitler now, right? Everybody's the bad guys from World War II. Even if you've been spreading that propaganda, I mean, it's expected that you don't actually believe it because it's just too stupid, right? It's just too ahistorical. It's just too historically illiterate. What a weird thing. You'd have people that are paid to go on TV to make themselves look incredibly stupid for money.
I just want to look at that salute that he gave again. Just if anybody missed it, we'll just show it again. He's just wrapped up here. You can hear the. All right, so we just showed that. We just showed that.
Right. It's worth
salute.
It was quick. I think our viewers are smart and they can take a look at that. But it certainly was. It's not something that you typically see at American political rallies. Let's put it that way.
No, it was not something that you usually would see. And it was quick, as you point out. It was very quick, but it was in a moment of intensity for him as he came out dancing, and then he did that. He is a hero here.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
I just want to look at that salute that he gave.
See, I wonder if they showed the clip where he says, "My heart goes out to you," if they'd still have something to talk about. Funny they don't show that. I mean, it's just, are they that stupid? What do you guys think? Are they that dumb? Is it just, they're just outright shameless liars? Just outright shameless narrative weavers? What is it? My heart goes out to you, he says. Geez, I wonder if that's all that was happening there. Geez, I wonder if it was that, or for some reason, Elon Musk went insane and decided to do a Nazi salute. I wonder which one it could be. Can we apply Occam's razor to this? Boy, I just can't figure it out. Which one's more likely? My heart goes out to you, or Nazi salute. Geez, I don't know. It's tough, right? It's tough. Well, I guess I'm not a journalist. I'm not a news anchor. I mean, I can't figure it out. Holy Jesus. I mean, why aren't they embarrassed? Why aren't they embarrassed? They're away. This is CNN. Nobody's even watching them anymore. I mean, at least at the point where, you're getting, like half the viewership of Timcast, or a quarter the viewership of just, 1,000 different YouTube channels. You go, oh, what difference does it make anymore? Obviously, it's not that. You guys aren't stupid. Her audience isn't idiots. Although she does say that, doesn't she? And then assumes that they're idiots.
Again, just if anybody missed it, we'll just show it again. He's just wrapped up here. You can hear the. All right, so we just showed that. We just showed that.
Right. It's worth salute. It was quick. I think our viewers are smart and they can take a look at that, but it certainly was. It's not something that you typically see at American political rallies.
See, I don't think that she believes that her audience is smart. That's how this is all happening. That's why this is happening. Because they assume their audience are idiots. The ones still watching them are idiots. Otherwise, they wouldn't go through with this absurd charade, perhaps. I don't know. All I know is that you don't hate them enough. All right, we've already saw that dingbat. There's Tucker walking around, not being attacked by Antifa, amazingly. All right, how about this one? Elon Musk thanks Trump supporters for saving the future of civilization. Really? I mean, I don't think that's hyperbole, to be honest. Let's check this out.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah. And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. There are elections that come and go. Some elections are, important, some are not. But this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. Thanks to you. We're going to have safe cities, finally, safe cities, secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff.
It was an incredibly important election for Western civilization. I mean, hopefully this is the turning point where it goes from we have to hate ourselves. We have to hate ourselves based on ahistorical nonsense, based on a complete and utter lack of historical perspective, or just perspective on the world right now. Right? This is the point where either reality was going to assert itself or it wasn't. That we showed the, Mary Poppins of misinformation earlier. Right? She didn't get in. She didn't get in the first time, but that ministry of truth that somebody like her, that some, ideologue censorship witch would run, that was coming. I guarantee if Kamala had won, it would have been there, and that really would have been the beginning of the end. That might have been just an inflection point. I mean, I don't think it's possible to overstate how important this election was. Not just the people of the United States. This was something, this gave inspiration to sane people who are determined to accurately describe the reality that they see around them across the Western world. And that you can do it. You don't have to get beat up by the machine forever. Eventually you can beat the machine. And you don't have to have a revolution. You can do it through the robust systems that have worked so well for Western civilization. But it's going to be hard. But the hope is there. Incredibly important, not just for the US, for the entire Western world. Forget that, anywhere in the world where reality is being threatened, where the right to accurately describe reality is being threatened. In fact, on that note, Trump does have a dinosaur and his best friend is an eagle. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. The Kamala win was a giant leap towards 1984. And I don't think they were hiding it. I don't think they were hiding it. Let's see, what else have we got? And of course, Elon is extremely happy, because he's an entrepreneur. He has giant plans. He has giant plans for humanity. He doesn't just want a successful car company, right? He wants to set up a civilization on another planet for humanity, right? As insurance for consciousness in the universe. That's thinking big. That's about as big as you can think, right? And I tend to believe him when he talks about, how this was it. Like, this was really important. I mean, I trust him more than I trust this.
Outlet so disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie.
That's the person who was going to decide what's truth and what's misinformation. If that's not the harbinger of the end of civilization, the end of freedom, I don't know what else is. All right, did we have anything else in here that I wanted to hit? All right, we saw that dingbat protester. Let's see, we saw this. We saw these clips. We saw that. All right. So why don't we do this right now? Let's just go through and see if there's anything new coming up. Let's go to trending. Let's just go Trump. Let's see. What's the latest? Boss Melania Trump is exquisite. Yeah, I mean, she looked dynamite. She looked incredibly elegant. Trump is president for the people. President Trump signs executive order to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. That's just funny. All right, let's top ones. For the past 40 minutes, Trump has been answering questions from the press and signing executive orders simultaneously, a skill that after 4 years of Biden feels almost mythical. Well, it's already been established. And I put out a video, I think earlier today, or it was last night, with Mike Johnson talking about meeting, the leader of the House meeting Biden and realizing he has no idea what he's signing. Let's see. So President Trump, here from Liz Churchill, President Trump has defunded the criminal entity that is the World Health Organization, which is owned by Communist China, the Gates Foundation, and the Clinton Global Initiatives. Well, Chinese influence is obviously like almost total. We saw, WO officials, like we saw the one when he was asked a question about Taiwan, just pretend that he couldn't hear. Pretend that the call wasn't working. It was really obvious what was happening. How about this? Trump just enacted a 90-day pause on all foreign aid. All foreign aid programs will be reviewed, and only those that align with American interests will be kept. Now we are talking. They were trying to spread like woke education to like the third world and stuff, like gender theory to like Sri Lanka. And in all of that stuff, part of all of that ideology is hatred of the West, hatred of the United States especially. Seems like an insanely stupid thing to do. Let's see. Oh, how about this? In fact, hold on a second. I want to show you something on the pardons. So back to Biden's pardons again. So here, Trump is being asked about it.
Mr. President, do you have any reaction to the pardons President Biden did at the last minute?
Well, I'm not going to discuss it now. I think it was unfortunate that he did that. We won't discuss it now. There's plenty of time to discuss it.
Mr. President, do you have any reaction to the
Yeah, it all just feels very much like pardons for Biden himself, so that nobody will be put in a position where they might have to testify against him, perhaps, right? Libs of TikTok, nearly 3 minutes straight of Democrats saying preemptive presidential pardons mean you're guilty. Huh, how about that? I guess they're not going to say that anymore after they've all been pardoned, had preemptive pardons.
Have you ever heard of somebody getting a preemptive pardon who was innocent of all crime? Who's just an innocent person? Have you ever heard of that? Just somebody getting a blanket pardon and they're an innocent person?
But no, it's the president's own family. It's people that have been covering up for the president in addition to his own family.
Is there an innocent?
He was part of the January 6th commission, so he would have gotten a pardon.
An explanation for someone to seek preemptive pardons for family members. Would you do that if you knew you were innocent and just worried about outside forces?
The answer to that is going to be no. If you haven't done anything wrong, you sit there and go, what do you need a preemptive pardon for?
If he pardons people preemptively, he's essentially telling the public that these people have committed crimes. And we may not be aware of what they are, but the pardon is clear evidence that crimes have been committed.
I imagine if he decides to issue these preemptive pardons, it will be cast in a way that he is protecting his family and protecting their reputations from, villainous exterior forces that are against him.
First off, we should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity of a president who's so clearly concerned about his own criminal culpability and that of his family members that pardons are a major obsession with him.
Yeah, we get the point. Obviously, these people are going to either be totally silent on what Biden has done on Biden's preemptive pardons. Basically, he pardoned anybody who could be a threat to him legally. So they're either going to go completely silent on that, or they're going to just immediately change their minds, right? And just never mention the fact that they were actually said the exact opposite when it was politically expedient. With less than an hour left in his presidency, President Biden announced blanket preemptive pardons for members of his family, saying in a statement that baseless and politically motivated investigations wreak havoc on the life, safety, and financial. Okay, we get the point. They also might wreak havoc on him, on like legal liability on him. So now there's no pressure on anybody. Nobody has to say anything. Let's see. 10 days ago, Biden said he will only pardon individuals who committed crimes. Today, he pardoned Fauci, Billy Cheney, everyone on the January 6th committee.
Also, sir, on pardons, have you ruled out a pardon for yourself or any other additional members of the family?
For myself?
Yes, sir.
What would I pardon myself for?
That's what I'm asking.
No, I have no contemplation of pardoning myself for anything. I didn't do anything wrong.
Mr. President, would you comment on Meta's decision to...
Also, sir, on pardons, have you ruled out a pardon?
There you go. That's the good man, the honest man, the man who brought integrity back to the White House. How about this? Adam Kinzinger on presidential pardons.
The only reason I know to ask for a pardon is because you think you've committed a crime.
And now he has a preemptive pardon. So there you go. But I don't think he's going to turn it down. How about Chuck Schumer here?
The president seems intent on filling each of his remaining days in office with petulance, grievance, self-interest. The president's reportedly asking his staff about whether he can whether he can issue. President's reportedly asking his staff whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer. No. No, Mr.
Thing is, a lot of these sneaky snakes are still going to be around, and they're going to do what sneaky snakes do because it's the only thing they can do. Jamie Raskin on presidential pardons.
Or at least the seeking of pardons is powerful demonstration of the consciousness of guilt. Or
you don't say. You don't say. Are you going to say that to all the January 6th committee? Was he on it too? Was he on it as well? Let's see. All right. Let's go through here a little bit more. Let's see. So President Trump has ended Americans' relationship with the WHO. That's a smart move. All of these globalists, all these global organizations, WF, UN, WHO, any of them have to be eyed with absolute suspicion at this point, right? Absolute suspicion. You can't trust any of them. I mean, we've got, in Canada, vying for the leadership of the Liberal Party to replace Trudeau. We've got Mark Carney. Let's see, UN climate envoy, a board member with the WEF, although now he's not. He just left. These people, they're all the same, and you can't trust any of them. Their interests are not your interests. Trump just revoked security clearance for the 51 intel agents who lied about Hunter Biden's laptop. Good. They did lie. They are liars. So Kamala Harris said, I told my husband on January 20th, 2025, he will sleep with the next president of the United States. Is that real? Dr. Simon Godek said, I think the main reason Trump is signing a record number of executive orders is to avoid banging Doug Emhoff. Smart move, Mr. President. Oh, dear. Let's see what else we got here. All right. What was this? So Michael O'Keefe, I can't wait until President Trump publicly calls out the Irish government for building migrant camps like this all over Ireland. It's inevitable. They're fucked. Yeah, they're just bringing them in and building camps for them. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I mean, they're not working. They don't have jobs. They're just importing these colonies of people for what? This is a sort of lunacy that has been going on across the Western world, right? This is why seeing Trump beat the machine after everything they threw at him and actually take office. That's why this is inspiring for sane people all over the world. It means there's hope. It means there's hope that you can stop this lunacy. Let's see. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are having an amazing time at President Trump's inauguration party. Oh, man. All right. Well, that's just nuts. All right. We've seen that. Cat Canada says, I want for Canada, and this is what I'm talking about. It's inspirational for, sane people everywhere. I want for Canada what Trump said he'll do for America. Let's watch.
So during his inauguration speech, Trump pledged to tackle inflation,
Drill, baby, drill. Close borders. Designate cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Promote merit-based colorblind policies. To recognize only two genders, male and female. To focus on America first and to restore national pride and prosperity. Canada, can we now please do the same? So during his inauguration.
Yeah. Yes, please. Please. I'm cautiously optimistic about Pierre Poilievre, but he's going to have to prove it to me. All right. A lot of WHO stuff here. Laura Logan, there's never been anything like it. Signing executive orders in front of the people who voted him into office. Unbelievable. And then Trump threw the pens into the crowd. When Trump said he was putting government back in the hands of the people, he appears to have meant it. I think that's just been obvious all along. I mean, he didn't have to put himself through hell. He didn't have to literally risk his life and his fortune.
He's giving the pins.
Trump destroying his pins to the people. How can you say this man is a dictator? He is a man of the people if ever there was one.
And look at Vince laughing, dude. He was the plant, Vince the plant.
The symbolism, like, you voted me in to do this. I'm going to do it right in front of you. It's something else. Breaking from Breitbart News, President Trump has stripped John Bolton of his security clearance. I don't see anything wrong with that. White House. Former National Security Advisor John R. Bolton published a memoir for monetary gain after he was terminated from his White House position in 2019. The book was rife with sensitive information drawn from his time in government. The memoir's reckless treatment of sensitive information undermined the ability of future presidents to request and obtain candid advice on matters of national security from their staff. Publication also created a grave risk that classified material was publicly exposed. He also has never seen a bomb he didn't want to drop on another country. He's never heard of a war he didn't want to start. He'll keep making the rounds because he'll keep talking crap about Trump. So he'll keep making money. But good. He's one of the sneaky snakes, right? The John Bolton. So good. I'm glad he did that. Let's see. All right, so there he is signing the executive order declaring the cartels as terrorist organizations. So that brings up some interesting questions. Like, I don't think he's doing that for nothing. What action is going to follow this? If there is, I think it's going to be dramatic. Trump and Melania's inaugural ball, first dance as president and first lady. Wow. It really is unbelievable that he overcame everything to get back. I mean, that is just everything. I mean, think back to the mugshot, right? They thought that was going to end him. He turns it around and makes it just this iconic photograph that just makes him look 10 times cooler, right? People who didn't like him saw that and went, oh, okay, he's pretty cool, right? That's badass, right? He almost dies in an assassination attempt, gets up, raises his fist, and shouts, fight, fight, fight. When we all know 99.999% of other politicians across the world would have been on their belly, pulling their security on top of them so that they could get shot in their place, right? Trump stands up. He says, I want my shoes. He stands up, raises his fist, says, hold on, raises his fist and says, fight, fight, fight. I mean, this is just iconic stuff. Iconic. All right, let's take a quick look at the chat. We're going to wrap it up fairly soon. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to move to the end of the chat because I think we want to wrap it up pretty quick. We're coming up to the glitch soon as well. The 2 hour, 10 minutes about glitch. Spambot says, we are doing it in Alberta. Danielle Smith is a better ambassador for energy than all of the Liberal Party combined. It turns out that it really did matter, her going and speaking to Trump. Like, that is what mattered. The whole Team Canada thing is just a chaotic, ridiculous mess. How they could kind of go ahead and make announcements without having everybody in line on the same page. I mean, that just shows you the incompetence of the current regime. But apparently, she did manage to at least put a bit of a hold to it. Trump saying February 1st. Again, I don't see that happening. I don't think anything will actually happen unless Trudeau manages to mess things up even more than he already has, which I guess is totally possible. But I don't expect anything will actually go through on February 1st. Let's see. Let's see. Spambot says, brings new meaning to the term pardon me. Yes, they're all saying that now. Let's see. Nevada says, good. I can't stand Bolton. Nevada says, Danielle is a great start. I think she's doing a fantastic job. Nevada says, now we can use military against cartel. Launchpad says, I heard one of the problems with declaring the cartels terrorists is that now people have a legal right to seek asylum in the United States because they're running from terrorists. Huh, well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Maybe we'll hear more about that. Yeah, all this stuff actually ends up becoming quite complicated. We get into the weeds, but that's why you need determined people to just do it. Spambot says, Melania reminds me of Greta Garbo from the 1940s, elegant, full of poise. Yeah, she's like super old school, isn't she? She has that old world class. She really is like an incredibly elegant first lady. I mean, she does do the country proud. And apparently now, like, the fashion houses were all competing. The first time around, none of them would do a dress for her. This time, they were all trying to compete to do the dress, and she told them all to get lost and went with the original one, which is pretty awesome, I think. But now they want to know about her. What Amazon is doing a documentary on her. So the world has changed. The world is healing. Sanity is returning. JDL says, Melania, will she get a Vogue cover this year? I don't know, but she will get covers for sure. All right. Are we able to do an ad? There's no ads available. Maybe they're getting mad at me for keep throwing in anti-communist stuff into the ads. I don't know. You wouldn't think they would. I mean, it's Rumble. But I guess we can't do it. All right. So let's cut it out before the glitch. We got a few minutes before the glitch. All right. Everybody, I want to remind you that there is merch available now on the Rumble store. You can see the shop button on the channel. You can press that. There is one t-shirt design right now. I'll be adding more on YouTube. There's a different store that you can find the same way on the YouTube channel. It's got mugs and hoodies and t-shirts and aprons, everything. So yeah, if you want to be cool, you know what to do. If you want to impress your friends, you know what to do. Even impress strangers, actually. I want to thank everybody who's been on the chat tonight. The chat is what makes this fun. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. You guys are great. And yeah, thanks for showing up again. Keep showing up over and over again. It's pretty nice. Otherwise, I'd just be like shouting out into the void, which is not fun for me. We will be back again tomorrow for the usual Tuesday night stream. Probably keep it pretty short, 2 hours again, I would think, but we'll be back tomorrow. Everybody have a great night. Congratulations to everybody. Maybe we need a little bit more of this before we go. And how about a little bit of this?
What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
All right, everybody. Good night.